We're truly blessed with having the Great Lakes in this region. They were formed many, many years ago and offer wonderful fishing, sporting, boating, and all kinds of water activities for all. Sit back, relax, enjoy a little bit of perch fishing, and as always, thanks for watching. So today we're going to be using emerald shiners along with some golden shiners that I've raised in my pond. We're going to be putting them on perch spreaders and perch rigs that I've made, and I like to use lots of colorful beads along with very, very flashy gold and silver spinner blades to draw as much attention to my rig as possible. So let's see how we do. So at this point, I'm not really sure what to expect. I've got 3 rods out, and I'm thinking I'm going to be able to manage 3 rods. And there we go. There's our first bite. On the board with a dink. Just a little guy. He's going to have to go back and grow some more before he becomes a keeper. Back you go. So let's drop down again, see what we got down there. My fish finder's going nuts right now. It's beeping with about 7 dozen fish coming and going in every direction. Fast forward a little bit, and here we go. Another fish on. This one was borderline a keeper, but these things are getting gut hooked. We're on a school right now. Again, the fish finder's going nuts, so I'm just checking my lines to make sure I don't have anything on there. Sometimes it seems like you don't even have time to get your fish off the hook before you're setting into another one and pinning one on. But in this case, we'll get back to getting him in the cooler. This was probably the smallest I kept of all day. Again, probably wouldn't have kept him, but he choked down the hook. Again, a little bit of editing. We'll fast forward back to putting this one pole in, we think. Seems like every time I go to set a rod down, something hits one. Whoops. Lost that rod. Another decent keeper there. And he popped off right into the boat. All right. You guys remember that rod I laid down that I was getting ready to put out? Well, I better go ahead and check it because I did put it out. And lo and behold, yep, fish on. At this point, fishing with 3 rods seems a little bit crazy. But the legal limit on Lake Erie is 6 hooks in any combination. 3 rods with 6 hooks. So again, we'll fast forward a little bit here, try to get some relaxation in, and nope, no time. Another one on. I had to let that line back out because my motto is ABF, always be fishing. So even with a fish laying by my feet, pinned onto my hook, I feel I have to have at least two rods in the water. Always be fishing. Gotta get that fish in the bag. Whoop, fish on. Oh, I missed him. Dang it. No, I didn't. He was on that one the whole time, and my lines were crossed. Another one in the bag. Now, at this point, I'm really starting to wonder if I should be fishing with three rods. Seems like I'm pinning just as many as I'm missing. So I'm wondering if I just need to slow down a little bit. So, in case any of you are wondering if there's any relaxing in perch fishing, I'm going to remind you that this is solo perch fishing, and I'm only there for one reason, and it's about to turn on. Watch what happens next. So we fast forward a little bit. Can't even get one in before we get one on. So I find another school, and we are about to hit the jackpot. Doesn't get much better than a double after a single of three 10-incher plus perch in a row. And this is just the start, gang. So again, we're going to fast forward you into some action, and we got a fish on. We're on a nice school of some good 10-inchers right now. And my goldens and emeralds are working like a charm. Notice I've switched down to 2 rods. 3 got a little too crazy. I think at this point, I'm almost missing just as many fish as I'm pinning. Here we go again, guys. We'll fast forward you into some action. And fish on. Probably one of my bigger ones of the day. So at this point, I'm actually wondering if I should even get a second rod out. Continuously watching that first one while trying to set up and bait up a second rod, I'm not doing a very good job keeping an eye on that rod. Yeah, there's a fish pinned on it. Probably gut hooked, because I wasn't watching. So here we go, fast forwarding again. Another one on. About the same size, 10 inches. Good eating size. And we'll throw him in the bag. So there was about a 15-20 minute lull in the action, and I switched back to throwing out 3 rods. And sure enough, fish on. Followed with another bite, and I missed that one. Bait stealers. Again, there's that motto, always be fishing. Gotta get that line back out before unpinning that perch. And that's another keeper in the cooler. So again, I switched down to 2 rods because I'm having trouble even keeping 2 rods in the water, as you'll see right here. Another big fish on. And another keeper for the cooler. The sun started baking me, so I had to switch positions. Put the sun at my back here. You saw that? Funny thing is the rod wasn't very tight. Just a little dink did that. I thought it was going to be a huge drum or catfish or double, but it was just a dink. Again, having trouble keeping up with the bite. Just can't seem to get the rods in the water fast enough. Again, another keeper for the cooler. So you may notice me putting the fish into a fish bag. It's a great invention. It's an insulated dry bag that allows one to put a small bag or a big bag of ice, for all that matters, if you want, inside of an insulated dry bag that won't leak, in a nutshell. Keeps the fish cool all day, and doesn't weigh much until now. So now, back to 3 rods and back to the crazy hectic. Fish on. One of the subtle advantages of having a smaller boat is while your hands are tied up and you can't check your lines, if you rock it from side to side, your lines will go up and down and give you an idea if anything is pinned on there. So note, sometimes I'll rock. That's what I'm doing, is checking my lines, watching the tip bob up and down to see if both of them are in unison or if one is a little off. And if it's off, I grab it and set that hook. Watch that lower rod in the rod holder. That was a good bite. So at this point, I am almost out of bait. I am down to my last 6 or 7 shiners. So I'm cutting the rods down again, trying to make it last as long as possible. Seems like every time I drop, I pin something. These perch are so much fun, guys. So thanks again for going out on Lake Erie perch fishing with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed my video. So that's pretty much a wrap, gang. What a great day on the water with lots of keepers. Good luck, good fishing, and thanks for watching.